Almost imperceptible at first, a dull thundering echoes across the battlefield. Even in the midst of heated combat, the combatants can't help but glance around nervously. The battle continues to rage as the thunderous noise continues to build towards a crescendo. As they crest the dune, the metallic armor of the cavalry glistens in the desert sun. The Necropolis Knights plow through the wall of flesh with the force of a shotgun blast, breaking the enemy formation and the will to fight. At this point, the enemy realize they no longer have the option of fleeing, as these mounted warriors were impossibly fast and ferocious. Let's take a brief look at some cavalry options in Total War Warhammer. Cavalry are mounted units. This substantial increase to their mobility is such a drastic change to their combat role that their use on the battlefield must be re-evaluated. The most common and basic type of cavalry is to place a basic melee infantry unit on a mount. These units are often more expensive and fragile than their non-mounted counterparts. However, their mobility allows them to plan their path of attack, be decisive, and then get away before they take too much damage. An orc walking towards an archer is a dead orc, but if the orc is on a giant wolf, then that same archer has no chance. Anti-infantry cavalry seems like an oxymoron. Aren't all cavalry anti-infantry by definition? Well, technically yes, and you can technically open a jar by throwing it on the ground. Anti-infantry cavalry have specialized weapons, special attacks, or even mounts that are designed to tear through ground units with extreme violence. If a knight with a sword can sow chaos in a unit of archers, then the knight on the back of a griffin can be apocalyptically demoralizing. Even these units that are designed to slaughter units smaller than them, you do not want them to be charging headlong into a unit of spears or halberds. War is often a clash of intangibles. Hard to define, but undeniable in its effect, fear is one such intangible. Knowing the horrors are coming does little to dull the terror. Poison cavalry have a vicious poisonous attack that causes the affected targets to suffer debilitating leg cramps, making it nearly impossible to run away. Being shredded by rampaging spiders the size of horses that you cannot run away from would be the true definition of fear. Use these fast-moving cavalry to catch out-of-position enemy units and tear them to pieces, as their ability to run away will be robbed by the poison. When kings and queens look out across their kingdoms, they see many tools they can use to shape their empire. Civilians can be trained into soldiers, animals domesticated and utilized, but can true monsters be tamed, or at least guided towards the enemy? Factions across the Warhammer world say yes, and bring monstrous cavalry into battle to prove it. War is simply posing a problem for the enemy he or she cannot overcome and find an answer for, and a 4-story human with the tree for a weapon poses quite a problem. Do not believe these monsters are army smashers alone, however, and they should be used as the cornerstone of a much larger and more balanced force. Thank you for visiting Victory Through Failure, and consider watching some of our other videos in the Total War Warhammer series.